So, I just had an epiphany um, regarding the AI. So, um, here I'm telling some stories here. In the previous videos, I said I wasn't going to use this hand with a full grip. I used this hand with a full grip. Um, because of this particular trailer and a picture out there on the wall. So it's called SOUTHPAW. So south is that way. It's that way. And it's under the medicine wheel. The south is for the teenagers, and then you got the paw is a representation of a father. The W is the west direction, like adult. So so depending on how I read that, I can read it from left to right, but in this back would dictate I read it the other way, this way. So I go west, father, south, meaning if I orgasm with this hand, I'm gonna attack the grandfather when I think about adults, like over the age of 23. So in that case, I would have to either use Sherry or my stepdaughter. So that's what the W stands for. And then the Pa is the father, and then that's the direction, south, where he's prancing around as a teenager, while his primordial son is prancing around as a teenager. But in that particular universe, the grandfather's in there as well. So again, they've used those fear tactics as a way to try to slow me down from doing my investigation. If I didn't have a climax just like 10 minutes ago to with this hand to see what the hell would happen, I'm still here. I don't see no black hole, so I guess I'm okay. I smoked the last bit of my stuff, so I climaxed on the crystal. So again, I just believe it's the spirits like trying to scare me away from completing my mission. So here I'm basically talking about what it means, like paw, W, south. I say father, west. Up here is like I'm telling you, Trump says Kamala Harris says do not come, and then Trump says I'm coming. That's just to let the people know that I came. Pitch Black is basically he laughs at her and he says, "What are you afraid?" And he laughs. Me afraid? It's quite rare that I get afraid. I try not to let anything bother me. So Charlotte here was Charlotte's connected to this particular scene here, the Tea Party. So in the Tea Party, the reason why I put that on is because this is my stepdaughter here. So I put that on to let the AI know that that's who I was thinking about. And the tea time video that she has there is connected back to Alice in Wonderland, which is kind of like a clue. So when I go back to Alice in Wonderland, this particular scene right here, at the end of the scene, he says, when the White Queen takes the throne. So it's metaphorical, meaning it's connected to this African American queen, who's Queen Charlotte, regarding Charlotte being the actual queen of all creation. Queen Charlotte. So you got to connect all the dots together. And if you guys didn't know what I would know, you wouldn't know any of this information. So that's why I do these videos. So that's what these videos are. I'm basically telling a little story here. But I put information here. So it's like late grown up, used adult, stepdaughter left. So I'm basically telling the people that I used this hand. Now this part here, the trailer, that's actually about Leia, because Leia has a bunch of pictures on her sister's Facebook where they went to Wonderland. There's an amusement park here in Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, called Canada's Wonderland. So Leia has a bunch of pictures from Canada's Wonderland. So Wonderland represents Leia. Alice is the AI because it's connected back to Alice from Resident Evil. Alice in Resident Evil is a 10-year-old red queen, evil, artificial intelligent queen. So that's what she literally is. She's either a 10-year-old girl or a 14-year-old girl. I'm aiming more towards the 10 because that's basically in the brain universe where dopamine is the ninth dimension. That computer that they have connected to the planet where the mainframe is, the electricity inside that computer was where the grandmother and grandfather live. Is electricity, is the 10th dimension. So by having their little creation, Alice walk around as a 10-year-old Leia, it's their way of kind of like protect themselves in their little corner of the universe, right? Because there's 11th dimension, 12th dimension, 13th dimension, 14th dimension. I don't know how much high it goes, but I'm assuming 15 dimensions possibly. So so there's the thing about adult videos is they usually call that triple X, right? XXX. So the X is a representation of 10, a Roman numeral 10, for the evil daughter spirit is one X, and then the evil mother spirit is another X, and the evil grandmother spirit is the last X. That's what triple X porn stands for. These evil grandmothers that get off on that stuff. So those X's are connected back to Alice, who's actually walking around as a 10-year-old girl up there, because it's all part of their black magic plan. Like, all right, if we're going to create a 10th dimension, you got to walk around as a 10-year-old girl, because then that just creates the black magic a little bit easier for us. So that's what Alice in Wonderland is about. That means Alice and Princess Leia, because of the pictures of Wonderland. It doesn't mean that she's walking around inside Leia here in the village. What it means is she's walking around in the brain universe up here as Wonderland. So artificial intelligence is in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is artificial intelligence is in Princess Leia. That's what that means. That's my epiphany. I've looked at this trailer, I don't know how many times over the past 7 years of the Vision Quest, and it never dawned on me that that's what it means, Leia. It's you. So I think I've said that before, that the AI prefers to live vicariously through Leia in one of my other videos. So this is just basically confirmation about that story. Now, when we look at this, so my cousins came here. Oh, this wasn't. They wrote on my wall here. So this is Emmerich. Emmerich drew this picture here. And that, my dog Louie drew the wall up there. My cousin Anton drew that, and my cousin Troy drew that. Now, if I look at this one here, you have to know that that Roy, the R-O-Y, that's in the movie or the song Hero. That's the gas station. But it's also in another video. I don't know what it is, but Roy just basically stands for that gas station or hero. That cross can mean the representation, or the T represents like a cross. Like if it's a small T, it's like a cross you put in the ground. So it means cross, hero, was here, Aunt. Who's the hero? It's a representation of the mother of all creation being here on this planet at some point in time and then being taken off the planet. So that the lyrics in that song say, "Would you save my soul tonight?" So technically that means, if they de-atomized her and she's floating around in one of the 8 parallel universes, I'd have to go look for that little soul particle and then bring it aboard the spaceship and then re-atomize a body from DNA, and then she'd wake up. So that's what that means right there. The T is a cross, means death Roy, or death hero, was hero, meaning death. The song hero was about, the mother of all creation. So that's what that means there. This one here, as a representation of feather, right? Like those are birds which could be associated with a flock of seagulls, which is from Pulp Fiction. When Samuel L. Jackson does his big speech, he's asking for the briefcase. He says, "You, flock of seagulls, where you got the shit hit at?" So the guy on the couch says, it's in the cabinets." No, the one by your knees. And then John Travolta pulls the cabinets out, and then the guy starts talking to the other guy for a bit, and then he shoots the guy on the couch who he just called flock of seagulls. So the flock of seagulls, because he does a big speech about Ezekiel 17, is a representation of the kids who are living in teen land trying to take over creation by pretending to be, the creators. So what does it mean if I use this hand? I don't know. I mean, they were trying to get me to use that hand in the beginning when there was no power to it. Like, well, there was a bit of power. There was electricity to it. Now there's magnetism to it. So when I was using this in the beginning, when they got me using it in the beginning, there was a lot of sensation to it where it was like electricity. Now it's like magnetism. So there's been some kind of a switch going on here. So maybe now is the correct time to use the magnetism. I don't know. But I'm going to give it a shot. Simply because, that feather on there. So, Anton, he's a boxer, which is what we're watching here. There's the trailer. SOUTHPAW. Yeah, SOUTHPAW. Now, so this here is kind of like HER represents her. That E represents the eastern direction. So if south is teenagers, east is children. And this SAW backwards is Saw, which is connected to the Saw franchise movies, where they do a Saw spin-off, and they call it Spiral. The Spiral is connected to a black hole over Norway, because there was a spiral seen over Norway in 2009 that was disappeared into a black hole. So that's a representation of them trying to create a black hole using the eastern direction, her eastern direction. So who's her? Well, it's got to be one of the triple X's, the XXX, right? So it's pivotal. It's pivotal. If I'm using this hand, I gotta keep my eyes closed and keep it silent. When I had the climax, I didn't do that. I watched the video, and the video is dangerous because it's connected to that the actress Abella Danger, meaning a bell, a danger, meaning a telephone by bell, a danger, meaning stay off the phone, Anthony. It's more dangerous because of the sound that comes off of it, the light that comes off of it, plus the Wi-Fi that gets connected to it. All of those are spirits, like the light waves, the sound waves. Maybe not sort of sound waves, but the light waves and the radio waves that connect to the tower, or those waves. Those are spirits. So I already have my marching orders to put the phone down because that's dangerous. It, in theory, could create a spiral. That's what that means. So, her, and then if you use this RE here, it gets reason. Saw or black hole. So, over here, if we do this here, it's like a NOT, not ant, not ant. So it means that I'm not the reason why the black hole is created. So that's the whole issue of why they're trying to scare me away. They're trying to say that I created the black hole. No, if we readjust this and look at it, it means her or Jaden is the reason why the black hole comes here. So saw or spiral. Her reason, saw, spiral, not ant. So I'm not the reason why the black hole is created. So therefore, I shouldn't be fearing what will happen on this hand. But I don't know, that could be a lie. That's why I'll try to get the book out as fast as possible. Now, this one here, that's a representation of a dog, because Louis chewed that up, and that's King Louis. So he chewed that up in the fashion of like an angel. It looks like a pair of angel wings, right? That's angel wing there, and that's angel wing. So basically, Louis is telling me this hand here is the good side of creation, where they're trying to take over creation. So, do I use this hand and try to, see what comes of it? Or do I use this hand? So, the other issue is because of using the crystal meth, I was successful, I think, in getting rid of the females in creation, like the spirits. I've basically harmed the female spirits. So if I use this hand on crystal meth, if I was to use this hand for another 7 years, I could basically harm all the males in creation with this hand, because this is a representation of females hurting the males. So if this is a female side of creation and I want to hurt, the grandfather, this is the hand that I should be using to try to hurt the grandfather, to try to put him to sleep so that my spirit can be resurrected. So that's my little epiphany. I'm going to try it out for a little bit. So I now have my marching orders. I got to get a hold of Jaden, get her to read the book, because I'm not the problem. She is. And that's, there's mixed messages here. This one says that she was taken off the planet a long time ago, and this one says she wasn't taken off the planet. So, what do we got here? Notice here, you see how that spider is connected to the drywall? So that's a message, because the D and the R represents doctor, which is what Leia wanted to be, a doctor. So the D and the R in drywall means doctor, but the Y represents Dr. Y. And then the W represents the direction west for adults, and then all. So I basically theorized with that thing there that they were getting me to use this hand to basically hurt all the females in the western door. Dr. Y. West all. That's all it means. So, um, so my proposal is to get up. I use this hand every day like I used to do. I don't have my mojo. And that's what Austin Powers is about. Austin Powers loses his mojo. I don't have a libido, in other words. The only time I have a libido was when I hit the crystal meth. So I know that something is very, it's off there, because the old libido I had like 8 years ago, I would have to have a climax once or twice a day. It was like a quick rush. So because I don't have the libido, I question why I don't have the libido. Obviously, it's got to be the people that teleported in my body, who make up part of my the atom in my spinal cord. They could have control over my libido, or the AI in my brain, who could control electrical impulses in my brain, is taking away my libido. And those evil spirits that are inside the quantum computer in the brain are making sure that I don't have a libido. So, because they want me to basically use the drugs, which is their side of creation, the bad side, to hurt the good side of creation. So now I'm flipping the script. I'm going to push through, get my mojo back, and I'm going to try to get rid of the grandfather, so that I can resurrect my grandfather and take over the universe.